Alrighty, this is David Graham. Here we are with Coach Justin Price. Coach, last week you got a big district win, but at the end it didn't really feel like a win the way you wanted it, did it?
Yeah, we're very proud to start the season 3-0. I think only the second time in school history, second year in a row. So we're very proud of what our kids were able to accomplish against a very good Central team. I think that you look at Central, they have a lot of kids back from last year. Their quarterback, top receivers, really good running back. So our kids came out with a focus. I felt like in the first half that it's going to take for us.
They set the tone, didn't they?
Yes, every Friday night they got to come out and play like that. I think in the second half I didn't feel like it was our kids not involved as much as it was as me as the offensive play caller. I felt like I got really conservative and more just trying to run the clock out as opposed to just letting our kids go out and play. And we kind of learned a lesson from that. I felt like it was the first time that we had such a strong lead against a quality opponent like Central. And those good teams, they got a lot of fight in them. They'll come back. So we learned a lesson, but I was very proud of our kids. And it was a great Friday night at Campbell County and something we'll remember for a long time.
And, after the game, you apologized to your players and everything. It kind of felt like you let them up in the second half, didn't you?
Yeah, I think Joseph Elkins, obviously he had 4 catches in the first half or 5. He didn't catch a ball in the second half. And, we only threw it about 6 or 7 times in the second half. So it wasn't us doing what we do best. And that's something we've learned. And the good thing about it is anytime you can learn something and still come away with the win is always a lot nicer. So we definitely watch the film and figure out what we can do differently in that situation. You got to play your game. You got to do what you do. And so our kids did things that they needed to do early on. I felt the second half it was just us kind of holding back a little bit.
Yeah, and that showed the character of your team too. It could have been it wasn't a very close ball game at the end, but they hung tough.
Yeah, I feel like our defense, it's kind of the big question mark for us every week now with a lot of guys inexperienced playing. So they came out in the first half, and I felt like they limited Central in their big plays.
They wanted to run the ball, and one guy, and you guys praised him after the game, number 31, Dakota Wilson. He really stepped up for you, didn't he?
Yeah, Dakota did a fantastic job. He came out, hadn't played a lot in the first 3 years we've been here, but he came out, and every day just gets better. Worked hard for what he was doing, and so guys like that in our program is what's going to help us to take it to the next level, and Dakota did a fantastic job.
Well, and at our first interview, you talked about players stepping up, that you're going to need some of these guys, especially on defense, to step up, and Dakota did just that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He's a fantastic kid. He understands our defensive scheme. He's undersized. With that, he makes it up in a lot of effort and discipline. He's a disciplined football player with his eyes, with his feet, with his reads, and always doing what he needs to do to make the play.
Of course, now in this game, before the game started, we have to ask you, Mike Rhodes, did he twist an ankle? What did he do? He's running out.
We're still waiting on the MRI, but he basically running out. He just got excited and kind of tripped and fell and kind of bumped his knee up a little bit. He did play in the first half and played well with his knee banged up. We just felt like in the second half, with us being up by 3 scores, that we were going to hold him out until we may need him. And the game did get close at the end. I think if they'd have got that onside kick there at the end, we probably would have put him back in. But, I felt like that Mike should be ready to go this week. Whether he's 100% or not, we don't know yet. We're still waiting to hear back from the MRI, but everything's been positive up to this point.
Well, now, you got some big boys coming off of injury going to be in this game this Friday night.
Yeah, we'll have our defensive lineman, Isaac Ford, back, who started as a sophomore and a junior. So, he's went through a lot of adversity.
He's ready to go. I know that.
So he's ready to get out there and kind of prove himself all over again. And we're excited to have him. He's worked hard for us, and he's paid his price for some things he did off the field. But obviously on the field he got some injuries, and we'll have him back this week. And his experience and stuff, I believe, will help us.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, now, Coach, turning our attention to this Friday night. This is without a doubt the biggest game on Campbell County's, or probably Anderson County's schedule, isn't it?
Yeah, and we try to take the mentality, David, the next game's always the biggest. We felt like last week against Central was the biggest game for us because it's your first district game. Kind of sets you ahead of the schedule if you come out with a victory, and always want to protect your home field in this district. But Anderson County obviously is the only loss we had last year, and we had chances, opportunities at the end to win it. We just didn't get it done.
Right.
So, you know, Anderson County is a well-coached football team. Coach Gill and those guys do a fantastic job. Their kids played hard. Matt and I spent 4 years down there,
right.
and we know what we're up against. But at the same time, I got a lot of confidence in our kids and, you know, what we've been able to accomplish here. And whether we're playing Oak Ridge or Lynn Camp or Anderson County or whatever, our kids go out every week and understand the routine that we have.
Right.
And our routine is to get better every week, find mistakes. You know, nobody plays a perfect football game. And, you know, we just need that same effort and the same mentality and confidence that we've had the last couple of weeks against Anderson County this week.
Well, now, and I'm going to ask you this. How many times this week are you going to remind your players of the 17-yard line that we didn't finish?
Yeah, you know, I think that was our motto last year, finish everything
Right.
that we do. And, you know, we improved in that so much. That was the one game I felt like there at the end. We got a holding call and then a false start. And,
Right.
you know, threw up a pass.
Pass interference.
Yeah, and
all
so
that
those
football
are things
defense.
that we got to continue to improve on. But we want to remind our kids mostly was in the off season.
Right.
You guys have worked hard to be in a situation where you have the ball first and 10, 17 to win. And looking back, it's been an undefeated season. So,
Right.
you know, our kids don't forget about those things. And, you know, our kids have not short of the praise they've received over the past year and a half with the wins that they have. So sometimes it's good to go back and focus on things. Hey, you know, we did lose a couple games last year. Why did we lose those games? So
Right.
our kids, also, you don't want to dwell in the past. We're a different team we were last year. Anderson County's a different team than they
Right.
were. The environments, everything's just different. And so we're going to just remind our kids of what it means to finish.
Yeah.
You know, every single play from start to the end. And I think our kids have done a good job of that so far.
Coach, looks like you're ready to go. Tell you what we'll do, we want to let you go real quick, and we're going to enjoy some hot, fresh pasta and
Sounds good. I can
pizza.
smell it right now.
And good luck this Friday.
Thank you.